In this lesson, we're going to be addressing the top mistakes that new and aspiring traders make when starting off in Forex. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this whiteboard and go over all these top mistakes so that you could avoid it and do differently in your trading journey. So without further ado, let's go into the first one. A lot of new and aspiring traders have unrealistic expectations when starting off in Forex. Forex is widely known as a get-rich-quick scheme, so a lot of people look at other profitable traders making thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars within a couple of weeks and think that they could do the same in their trading account. And you need to be able to set realistic expectations not only for your financial goals, but your timeline to become profitable, because if you are trying to rush this whole entire process, you're going to take a lot of shortcuts that's not going to allow you to sustainably trade the markets. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is establish a realistic timeline to profitability. And I put here at least 3 to 6 months. This is just a gut check that you're not going to become profitable right away in the foreign exchange market. You need to gain a foundational education of what Forex is in things like technical analysis and fundamental analysis before you're actually becoming profitable in the foreign exchange markets. So make sure you establish a realistic timeline of when you're going to become profitable. That takes at least 3 to 6 months, and that's bare minimum 3 to 6 months. Like I said, it took me a year and a half before I found profits in the market. It could take you less, it could take you more. Just make sure you're not rushing the process. The next thing you'll want to do is establish realistic financial goals. Most new and aspiring traders enter the Forex markets and over leverage their account because they're looking for that huge win. But the fact of the matter is most profitable traders in the foreign exchange market are profitable because they capitalize on small, consistent wins, risking around 1 to 2% of their account balance per trade, while new traders are risking 50 to 75% of their account balance to look for that huge win. The main thing in the foreign exchange market is not risking a majority of your account balance so that you could sustainably trade the markets. Make sure that you're capitalizing on small, consistent wins instead of trying to look for that huge win that will end up blowing your account. So make sure that you're actually sustainably trading the markets, executing on 1 to 2% of your account balance per trade, and not anything more than 25 or 30% like most new and aspiring traders to start the market. So make sure you're establishing a realistic timeline to profitability and establishing realistic financial goals when starting to trade the market. And of course, if you need more capital, then you may want to look for a prop firm. A lot of traders, when they see that they could only risk 1 to 2% of their account balance per trade, they're asking themselves, how could I make a living off of $1,000? Well, you can. So this is why you need to look for a prop firm where they'll provide you up to $100,000 to $200,000 of capital to actually trade on a day-to-day basis. And in those cases, you'll be able to risk 1 to 2% of your account balance and actually live off of that capital. So make sure if you don't have enough capital, don't over leverage your account to try to make more money on your account balance. Just look for a prop firm. There's so many prop firms that will provide you capital if you do have a profitable system. So make sure you're establishing a realistic timeline to profitability, establishing realistic financial goals, and if you don't have enough money to start your trading account, just look for a prop firm. So this is the first mistake that new and aspiring traders take when trading the foreign exchange market. They have unrealistic expectations. Now, the next top mistake that a lot of new and aspiring traders have when starting to trade the foreign exchange market is they don't build a system around themselves. They build a trading system around somebody else. So build a system around your own personal tendencies and habits. Instead of looking at other profitable traders and trying to trade their trading system, why don't you try to soul search a little and try to understand your own personal tendencies and habits? Do you like instant gratification? Are you a person who's routine oriented? Do you have a lot of discipline? You need to make sure to soul search and understand your tendencies and habits and what makes you tick as a person so that you could implement it in the markets on a day-to-day basis. So you need to know which time frames you're going to be executing on, how you're going to be approaching the markets, what type of trader you're going to be, and make sure to block the outside noise. This is a big one. Make sure to block out everybody else's system and profits because it's only going to be impeding on your process. You only want to focus on your process as a trader. Being a trader in the foreign exchange market could be very lonely. So you need to make sure to only trust your own process and don't judge your process off of anybody else's process. Even if that means blocking profitable traders on social media just because you're FOMOing into trades that you usually wouldn't have placed in the markets, make sure that you're blocking that outside noise and only trusting your process. Only worry about your process. So just to recap, we have unrealistic expectations and then build a trading system around somebody else. So don't have unrealistic expectations in the market and build a trading system around your own trading habits and tendencies. Do some soul searching and understand your own tendencies and habits and implement that in the markets. So the next top mistake that a lot of new and aspiring traders take in the foreign exchange market is they trade directly in the live markets. This is probably one of the most important mistakes that a lot of new and aspiring traders take in the market. And this is a big one that you're going to want to do differently if you want to become profitable in these markets. So don't trade the live markets if your system doesn't prove profitability. The main thing is you want to be able to prove profitability before you're actually trading the live markets. So you need a back-tested system that proves profitability before entering the live markets. Most traders, when they start entering the live markets, they don't have a system that proves profitability. They don't even know what backtesting is. So that's why they end up losing a ton of capital, and it ultimately leads them to quitting, is they don't have a system that proves profitability. And you're able to gather statistical evidence around a trading system, which you could then leverage into the live markets. Once you have a backtested system that proves profitability, you gain statistical evidence around your own trading system that you could then leverage in the live markets. Like I said, most new traders don't have this statistical evidence. And if you don't have statistical evidence that you have an edge in the markets, then you're gambling. And like I said, most new traders are gambling on a day-to-day basis when they start trading the foreign exchange market. So make sure that you gather this statistical evidence and you backtest your system. So the top mistakes we have right now are unrealistic expectations. They build a trading system around somebody else's trading habits or tendencies, and then they trade directly in the live markets. The last mistake that a lot of new and aspiring traders take when they trade the foreign exchange market is they don't journal their trades. You need to journal everything when you're trading the foreign exchange market, starting with your trades. Journal your trades to look back and optimize them. Do more of what works and less of what doesn't. And I love to say this, only L that you're taking in the markets are lessons. When you take a loss in the market, you can't be emotionally attached to that loss. The only thing that you could do is go back into the trades and get valuable lessons or insights from that trading setup. When looking at the trades that you lost in your trading journal, you may want to analyze the setup so that you could avoid them in the future. But when you're analyzing the trades that you won, you may want to look at those trading setups to optimize how you would have managed the trade differently to make more money. So make sure that you're not only learning from your losses, but you're learning from your wins as well. You'll also want to make sure to journal your emotions and thoughts while you're trading. Being a new trader, your psychological aspect of trading is not well developed. And the best way to develop your emotions and thoughts to trading is journaling them. The whole idea is when you're entering and exiting the markets, your mental state is constantly ebbing and flowing. And you want to be able to visually see how your mental state fluctuates while you're placing a trade in and out of the markets. So make sure that you're journaling all your emotions and thoughts while you're trading so that you could look back on these thoughts and emotions and be able to control them for the future. So just wrapping all of these mistakes up very quickly. Number one, unrealistic expectations. Make sure that you don't have unrealistic expectations when you're trading the foreign exchange market. Establish realistic timeline to profitability and realistic financial goals when you're trading. Number two, build a trading system around your own personal tendencies and habits. And even if you have to block outside noise and other traders, do so. Make sure that you're only focusing on your process and trust your own process. It's only you versus you. Number three, you should not trade directly into the live markets. Make sure that you have a back-tested system that proves profitability before you're actually entering the live markets. Make sure to gather all of that statistical data, because if you don't have statistical evidence that your system proves profitability, then you are gambling. And then last but not least, make sure to journal every single one of your trades and the emotions and thoughts that you have in the markets. I hope you learned something from this lesson, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.